long when it comes to the Golden State Warriors playing a short-handed team on the road. They fail to capitalize and they lose by 3, 119 to 116, as the free throw line was the difference in this one, as Utah ends up going 27 to 29 from the charity stripe, and the Warriors 14 to 21, those 7 missed free throws. They've done that in back-to-back games. Tonight they lose by 3. Saturday night in OKC, they lost by 7. As we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors Post-Game Live, we'll try to break this one down here and make sense of it with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill, and we saw how this game was trending for the Golden State Warriors. We talk about balance offensively. We did not see that tonight against a team that had no rim protection.
It was all good just a week ago, Bonte. The Warriors, the game plan tonight against the Utah Jazz was attack the paint. This team is really bad at defending the rim. Instead, I think the cards flipped. The Utah Jazz, and this was started by Keontae George, did a great job attacking the Warriors' paint, set the tone for the rest of the night. I felt like the Warriors were playing catch-up the whole time. They lost every quarter. All 4 quarters the Warriors lost to the Utah Jazz. It was Filipowski, it was Keontae George. I mean, it was just a hard night for the Warriors to keep up, and they couldn't catch up the whole night. In the fourth quarter, DeAnthony Melton and some of the guys tried to attack the paint and live up to that scouting report. But after shooting 52 threes, I think the Warriors shooting 30% for the three-point line, shooting 52 threes, it just was not – it was just a tough night for the Warriors.
Yeah, Bonte, you mentioned it. The Warriors got back in the game by driving the basketball to the rim. They have no shot blocking. They're 30th in defense overall, 30th in shot blocking. So – the paint was wide open. They shot too many threes. And the free throw line, Utah got to the free throw line, made, plus 13 from the free throw line. And they were 48% from the field. They're usually about 45. So they got their confidence. You know, they got a 4-point lead at halftime, let them hang around. Some of the Utah Jazz best players didn't even play in the fourth quarter. But they got guys out. They were kind of wild and reckless at times with the ball, but they did play hard. And when you let a team hang around like that, all of a sudden he makes a 3-point shot, you go down and miss, they get to the free throw line. So it's a typical game where you let a team hang around, they get some confidence, and they kind of sting you at the end. So a really tough loss after 2 really good efforts against the Rockets and the OKC Thunder. But they have to regroup quickly. They get the Bulls tomorrow. But I just, they had 33 assists, just 10 turnovers. But the disparity in 3-point shots attempted to 2. They shot 57% from 2 and just 31% from 3. So, I mean, as we watched in the game, you could tell the easy baskets were just driving to the rim. And if you do that, not only do you get easy baskets, you'll draw fouls and get it to the bonus. But with that went the Utah Jazz way. That's where they won the game at the free throw. The Warriors got 16 more free field goal attempts.
You mentioned the 2-point shots, 57%, 27 to 47 from 2s. And then they settled for the 3-point shot, going 16 of 52. But the free throw line, and we'll roll the fourth quarter tape in just a second, but the Jazz, they were 5 of 6 at halftime from the charity stripe. We discussed this at our halftime during our halftime hit. Who can get to the free throw line? Well, the Warriors go 9 of 16 in the second half from the free throw line. Utah goes 22 of 23. From the free throw line, Utah goes 22 of 23. So they made it count as we roll the fourth quarter tape here. And the Warriors did battle back because Utah, which we'll show a little bit later, went on that run in the third quarter. Fezzi fell down 8 here. And this is danger zone, but Guy Santos continues his stellar play, and the Warriors will crawl back to tie this game up. A turnover here by the Utah Jazz. They committed 17. Now here's GP2 to Guy Santos. Hey, you know what? A couple pump fakes. Back to GP2.
Good finish right here.
Good finish. Another layup right there. Warriors down 6. Seth Curry making his return. 13 points off the bench. But LJ Cryer, this young man is hooping right now. 11 points off the Warriors bench in just 17 minutes. Then Guy Santos, who finished with 15, 8, and 5, gets to steal. He's looking for some help.
Good pass. Good jump off.
GP2, Fezzi.
I mean, GP2 was that guy who was getting those points around the rim, like you said, Bonte.
13 points for Gary Payton II, 5 of 11 from the floor. Warriors down
and
3 with 3:18 left, and DeAnthony Melton draws a foul
Give me
and
my
drives
free throws,
to the paint.
Bonte. Give me my
is.
free throws. You can't leave extra buckets on the line right there. And the Warriors, they missed 7 free throws. And down the stretch, a couple guys missed some free throws. When the game is that close, There's how many lead changes were there tonight? I mean, this was one of those games where back and forth. It was back and forth, and this team is getting confident as they go. Utah Jazz, they have young players. They're trying to develop these young players, and this team is not trying to. The Warriors were, when the game got tight and it got close, they missed some key free throws and missed some key layups at the end of the game.
I mean, you look at all those highlights there. They're all layups, and there's no one near them. So that was where the Warriors, their decision making was lacking, to me, in shot selection, because it's obvious statistically, 57% from 2, 31 from 3, and there was no resistance. And this was a type of game too. If you get some separation, those guys that are out there auditioning start playing for themselves.
Yep.
And you get an 8-10 point lead, all of a sudden they start splintering. But you let them hang around, and I said before the game, if this team's gonna win a game, it's gonna be at home. And the crowd gets into it. You got a bunch of hungry guys out there. The kid Hinson hit a huge three-point shot. Warriors came down and missed.
Yep.
They get to the free throw line. The kid who made the 2 free throws there at the end.
You had Hinton, Cody Williams playing well. So let's roll the crunch time tape here, Mully. Down the stretch, the Utah Jazz responds with a big-time run here. Look, the Warriors tied. You thought maybe Utah would fold. But Cody Williams going to the rack. Hinton, big-time 3 in the corner. Jazz up 11. Jazz up 3, with a minute 11 left. And then you see the Jazz here up 3. Warriors respond. Again, DeAnthony Melton. They're going to the rack here where it was open wide all day long. And Billy, you talked about how crazy it was in the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm talking about.
Elijah Harkless here with the turnover. Utah is trying to turn the ball over.
Yep.
Turnovers galore in that fourth quarter for the Jazz. You see here Melton with a nice tip in. But Filipowski with a rebound. Good hustle here by GP2 and Melton. But the Jazz, here's the shot right here. Hinton. Good defense there. It's a huge 3. Huge 3 for Hinton. Jazz up 3. Button going to the basket.
That's what the Warriors needed all night long tonight.
Both those plays looked like that rocket play where Melton got that tip in. Didn't get to fall tonight. And made the 3-point shot, cut it to 1.
The Warriors had a chance to tie. Chance to tie here. Good defense right there by the Utah Jazz. Keith Santos with the double pump. Doesn't go in. And the Utah Jazz, despite committing 8 fourth quarter turnovers, survive at home. And think about this road trip here. We're talking about 2-1, really excellent play games in Houston and Oklahoma City. Now they go home at 1-2. You got a back end of a back-to-back against the Chicago Bulls, who are having a day off today in the Bay Area. They played Sacramento last night. It's a tough loss for the Golden State Warriors, and it just mounts on this list of frustrating losses we've seen all season long.
Yeah, it was a tough loss, but I have a couple positives that we can take away from this game. All right, so Seth Curry is back on the floor. He looked wonderful tonight. He looked incredible. He was attacking the paint. He was one of the leading scorers tonight. The fact that he's healthy, and the Warriors have really struggled. They've been depleted. The roster is depleted right now. So trying to find ways. You saw Steve Kerr in the first half playing him and Melton in opposite minutes, kind of threw the Warriors off a rhythm a little bit. But tomorrow night, you're going to have some of the other guys back. You're going to have Al Horford back. Maybe you have Kristaps Porzingis. So the Warriors trying to find a rhythm with the guys that they have on the roster and trying to get them to get some kind of chemistry until Steph Curry gets back in the game.
Yeah, Seth Curry had a great game. But I like the plays where he makes a few threes in a row. They close out to him. He likes that little pull-up 2-point shot, which I think is a great shot. LJ Cryer made a big pull-up too. Yeah. So, as these analytics take over, defensively, they want to take away the 3 and layups. There's all that real estate in the middle area. I say this all the time, Bonte and Festus. Yeah. You have to shoot open shots, not necessarily the closest shot, the best open shot you can get. If that happens to be a 16-foot shot, that should be a high percentage shot for an NBA player. So I think, again, statistically, tonight, 57% on 2s, 31% on 3s. You've got to drive the ball more.
Yes.
And not only do you get easy layups that we saw on the clips there, but you do get in a bonus. Yep. And all of a sudden, that free throw disparity is not as great, and that's what won the game for the Utah Jazz.
No doubt. You talk about DeAnthony Melton, some positives there. He went 3 of 6 from the three-point line. He had been struggling with this shot. But how do you bounce back from this one? When we look at the end of the season, they're now back at 500 with the Clippers. now tied in a loss column with the Golden State Warriors, now a half game up in the standings.
You worried about that loss column?
Hey, losses don't change, Fezzi Phil. They just go up.
Yes.
And with the Clippers behind them, you don't want to have two. You want to have two rolls of the dice at a playoff spot instead of playing in that 9-10 game where you're facing do or die in both games, Malik.
Yeah, I think you keep it simple. This one, you have no time to think about it. You got to play tomorrow. The Bulls were 0-11 in February, so they're a struggling team as well. You get home, get this win tomorrow. And really, if I'm coming off the road, tonight, I'm really focusing on the Rockets' performance and the good performance at OKC. Tonight, you got to forget about it. You got to gain tomorrow.
All right,
you feel like you let one go because there's a lot of opportunities to win this game.
But it's gone.
And think about the NBA's got a game tomorrow, chance to right the ship.
Yeah, we keep saying that.